Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the LAN Party Podcast. Today is Tuesday,
It is Tuesday,
April 2nd.
2nd of April.
Thank God it's not April 1st. This podcast is already a joke.
Wow. Wow. You know, I actually forgot it was April 1st until I was on YouTube yesterday, and, there was some dude that posted videos instant 9 million gold hack on Sea of Thieves. I'm like, what?
Yeah, no,
And then I'm like, wait a minute.
I
saw a YouTube video about changing your winter air to summer air in your tires.
That's actually a thing.
Is it?
I mean, not... Nitrogen-inflated tires are better in the winter because they don't...
No, but he was talking. He had a can of winter air and a can of summer air. He put labels on them.
You would have bought into that too, though. You would have 100%.
For a second, I was like, I mean, there's a little bit of science there. It makes a little bit of sense, but at the same time,
Coming from somebody who has winter and summer tires, he would have 100%. He'd be like, I got to put summer air in my summer tires, guys.
Listen. Winter tires are meant for winter weather.
Yes. And summer air is meant for summer air, weather. Duh.
Look, I'm just saying, there's a little bit more to tires than air.
Just saying.
Tires.
So, Black Rose says Tyler
Yes.
with exclamation point, as if you are new.
I was here last week.
Yeah, I don't know. So we've got some interesting topics of discussion. So obviously, since our last little powwow, Borderlands 3 trailer dropped. So I know there's some excited people. I know there's some excited people, and there's also some very, very grumpy people, and we will touch on that. Also want to talk really, I mean, it's gonna end up happening, so we'll just go ahead and roll out with it because it's gonna be tied into the Borderlands 3 discussion anyways. Epic Games Store
is bullshit.
We've talked about it before. The whole big debate kind of started with Metro Exodus.
I was looking forward to that, damn it.
You know, they still have it advertised on Steam, and there is still a message from Steam talking about how they're like, we feel like this is unfair and unjust to our Steam community and our Steam players because, you know...
It is really shitty to be like, here, it's on our thing, you can buy it on our store, all this stuff, we're advertising it here, we're advertising it here. Oh yeah, by the way, it's exclusive to this other shop, you can't buy it here anymore.
Yeah, it's like...
5 days!
Oh, it was 5 days before it released. Like, oh yeah, we're going here. Bye.
It was either 5 days or it was less than a month before release.
It was less than 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I don't know why Valve hasn't put in a clause like, if you advertise on our store, you have to release it on our store.
They might now.
Notify customers.
They might now, yeah.
Or notify customers if you change within a certain time frame.
Because
and honor agreements.
You know that decision was not made less than a month before launch. They announced it less than a month before launch. You don't make a snap decision like that on a whim.
Unless you're the Outer Worlds, which apparently they made that decision on a whim, or just decided to not
Yeah.
tell the developers.
But that's different because the game's not launching in 2 weeks. That's a little more acceptable. I still think it's wrong, but it's a little more acceptable. With Metro Exodus, the game was ready to launch, and they're like, oh, it's going to be on the Epic Games Store now. If you pre-ordered it on Steam, you can still play it, but it's going to be through the Epic Games Store. So, Black Rose, that is false. Black Rose says Tyler is the coolest. Clearly, that is incorrect.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that.
We don't. The rest of us in the room do not.
Well, at least there's somebody here who appreciates me in all my greatness.
Yes, you. You're the only one. Anyway, so back to the discussion at hand. As you can probably tell, Borderlands 3 has already been announced to be Epic Games Store exclusive.
Leaked.
Hooray!
Well,
leaked through a Twitter ad.
I'm pretty sure it's the same company though that owns Obsidian.
Well, their publisher is 2K.
Yeah, so there you go. The publisher has signed an exclusivity deal with Epic Games, pretty much with Outer Worlds. I don't see why they wouldn't with Borderlands 3. But as you can expect, this is causing a huge uproar in the PC community because, surprise, we don't want more launchers.
Yeah.
What do you mean?
Bethesda learned from their mistake.
All launchers are good.
Bethesda actually learned. I don't know if anybody is aware, but Bethesda will be releasing all of their Bethesda.net exclusive games to Steam by the end of the year, including Fallout 76.
I mean, when your launcher has a tendency to delete the games you try and play on it.
Yeah,
well,
pretty bad.
yeah, and you don't really have to deal with this. Imagine, since you're Xbox, imagine if you had to download a new Xbox homepage every time you wanted to play a different game.
Yeah.
That's
I know why it's shitty and why it's so annoying to people.
It's just it's so because I play games from tons of different.
I need all these extemporaneous programs and all this different stuff running in the background to play one fucking game.
Yeah, like.
And then I have to change all that to play something else.
Want to play Assassin's Creed? But you got to boot up Steam, then you got to click play, and then it's got to boot up Uplay, and then you click play again, and then you get all these problems because now the Steam overlay is trying to run on top of the Uplay overlay. You want to play fucking Battlefield? Well, you got to boot up Origin. You can't buy Battlefield on EA's store. You want to play Skyrim, Elder Scrolls Online? Not Skyrim, Elder Scrolls Online? You can buy it on Steam, but it launches through the Bethesda.net launcher. So you buy it, and you have to download the Bethesda.net launcher, then you have to launch the Bethesda.net launcher, and it's just...
And you have a 20 gigabyte update.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
not 2 gigabyte update.
Not to mention, 20 gigabyte updates all around.
Yeah. Because you don't update the other launchers until you play the damn game.
Yeah.
And so Steam's updated all the time because I use Steam all the time. Don't use Uplay.
Yeah, it opens on launch. I wonder why.
But like, so if I go to play Assassin's Creed, I've downloaded it. I've already updated. Assassin's Creed update. Say it's 10 gigs, and I update the game. I'm like, great, time to play. Click play. Opens up Uplay. Downloading an update for Uplay. 20 minutes. And then finally you get in, and the game's all buggy and slow because again, you've got two overlays that are trying to work on top of each other.
Although oddly enough, I don't know what's the difference between Odyssey. Odyssey is a lot better.
Well, I'm not saying
Origins was real bad like that.
I'm not saying it actually caused it, but it's annoying having two separate overlays for one game.
Yeah.
That do literally the exact same thing. They let you view your friends, they let you browse the internet, they let you look up stuff for the game. Why do I need two of those? I only need one. But yeah, as a PC player, the things that you have on your computer typically consist of the Microsoft Store / Xbox because Windows 10.
You can't get rid of that.
I wouldn't if I could though because I play games on there.
Yeah, correction, you shouldn't get rid of that.
Yeah. Steam, obviously. Origin, Uplay, Bethesda.net, and now Blizzard, and now Epic Games.
Hooray! That is very epic.
It's just so annoying. And you know what? This is why I have so much respect for 343. Say what you will about that company and what they've done with Halo. Talk your mouth off. I don't care. You know what they did different? They've launched on fucking Steam. Because you know what? They're like, man, people really don't like all these extra launchers if they don't need them.
Yeah, so let's go with two they already have, Windows Store and Steam.
Also, I think they're still a little worried about how well it's going to sell on PC, so they want to maximize their
I don't
sales.
think they're worried that it's going to sell. I don't think they're worried about sales. Matter of fact, I think they're so confident in sales that they put it on Steam.
Yeah.
I think
that's why they haven't brought the PC, though, is because they didn't think they'd make much money.
Mm-mm. It's always been an Xbox exclusive.
That's what they thought, eons ago when, after the Halo 2 era, because Halo 2 on PC didn't really sell that well, so we're not going to do this anymore.
But when they saw the success of El Dorito, which we talked a little bit about last week, and how many people want the Halo experience, and then when they released Halo 5 Forge on PC, they saw that there was a huge push for more Halo. Then they were like, there's a market there.
Yeah, well, you had people literally saying, it's like, we will give you money.
And so, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're overconfident. Not overconfident, but I feel like it's the reverse of what you think. The reason they put it on Steam is because they're so confident it's going to sell that they can take the hit on their personal sales from Microsoft putting it on Steam. Because they're going to lose 30% of each sale putting it on Steam.
That's actually outdated. They have different agreements now.
Well, El Dorito, and it's actually spelled Dewrito. So it's spelled as if it was El Dorito.
You didn't even know that. Of course, you wouldn't know how to spell Dorito.
It's a Halo Online mod that is not allowed to be played, or you can't. It's unofficial and shut down.
They were hit with a
cease and desist.
Cease and desist.
So the game's still up. You can still play it, but if you advertise it or publish any sort of content on it, Microsoft will come knocking.
So this is not an advertisement for the game.
No.
And we'll have to say that we do not officially support or unofficially support any.
We definitely do not.
Activities of such. No,
Nope.
No emulators or adaptations of
Nope.
As bad as I wanted to try it, I refrained.
Because that's wrong.
That is wrong.
We're doing that. Meanwhile, I'm over here thinking, like, I wonder how long it would take for somebody to pirate Borderlands 3. Like, some of the comments on some of the YouTube videos is like, oh, yeah, see, it's Epic Store exclusives. Pirates of the Caribbean music plays in the background. It's like...
But, I mean, seriously, though, like, that's... And again, not to start talking about Halo for the entire podcast again, but that's something that they did right. They launched on Steam, or they're going to launch on Steam. It's not going to be... You can only play it from the Windows Store because that's who we're partnered with. Like, that's annoying. And I understand with Sea of Thieves and with Forza because those are Microsoft brands, and I really would have understood with Halo. I was honestly surprised to see it come to Steam. But with games like Borderlands and like Outer Worlds and all this other stuff, like, why?
Yeah, Outer Worlds is still one of those. It's like, we're still kind of in the dark about that. People aren't really sure about it. But Borderlands is like, it's a tried and true series. It's like, is it going to be probably more Borderlands 2? Yes, I'm fine with that. But, now they're just being dicks.
I can't, like, and I can't understand why, like, it's annoying to me because as a PC gamer, obviously you go through all the struggle of having to open up all these other launchers, but it's like, it's not right to the PC community to split them like that. Like, you've got people that are furious that Epic Games is taking all these titles. Like, there are people that are livid. And Epic Games is so new. Like, their launcher looks like poo.
They don't even have a shopping cart.
They don't even have a friends list.
No.
Wow.
And the CEO is a massive fucking prick because he said, it's like, oh yeah, it's not based on what the consumer wants, it's what the developer decides how they want to distribute these games. And we're not going to add all this stuff because we don't think it's relevant for our platform.
Borderlands.
So you're going to offer an inferior platform to play your games.
Pretty much.
Versus...
I mean, Borderlands is
standard.
Always had 4-player co-op.
Yep.
How are you going to do that on the Epic
one? You don't have a fucking friend.
No.
Yeah, I don't know. They don't have... I guess the game's now going to have its own...
They're going to have to create its own friends list, friends account, because...
Have like individual community.
So you know what's going to happen is you're going to have to download the Epic Games launcher, and then you're going to have to download something for Take-Two or Take-Two Interactive or whatever, Gearbox, so that you can have a friends list integration.
And then you're going to have Discord anyways, because you're not going to be able to just message your friends through this thing, because if they aren't playing the game and they're not in Take-Two's program, you won't find them.
I can see this game... I can see it launching and since it has very little multiplayer support, it's going to crash and burn. Because
Probably going to play very well on consoles. Probably going to go over really well on consoles.
I was talking about this earlier. I'm actually thinking about getting a console and getting all these games just so I don't have to deal with this crap anymore.
I mean, the games that you want to play on PC that are not Epic games or, shit like that, cool, play them on PC. But why go through having 450 launchers if you can just buy a console and buy the game and not worry about it?
What the heck is that sound?
Lawnmower. I mean, I don't feel like it's right to the community. I really don't. It's really stupid. And you can tell the reason that I predict that you're going to have some sort of external account to create a friends list is because Fallout 76 works that way. There's no friends list on Bethesda's launcher.
It's in-game.
It's all in-game. Now, that's probably going to change with Fallout 76. You'll probably be able, or with Fallout 76, when they come to Steam, you'll probably be able to open the Steam overlay and invite people to the game that way. But at launch, if I wanted to play with Nate, but I didn't know Nate personally, I didn't have his cell phone number, I wasn't friends with him on Discord, so I couldn't message him on Discord, I didn't have him on Steam, you have no way of contacting these people if they're not in-game.
Yeah, that's a huge oversight.
So, and the other thing is, like, when you log in to Fallout 76, you log into the Bethesda launcher, and it uses your Bethesda launcher credentials in your Fallout 76 friends list. So it's not that they don't have the technology to have a friends list. It's just it's a per game basis.
It's super annoying.
Which is dumb. And I feel like that's what's going to happen with Borderlands. It's going to be a per game basis. Yeah, so if you're friends with somebody and you're playing, well, Metro Exodus isn't co-op, is it? I don't think so. So say Metro Exodus was co-op, and we all know it's not, but say it was, and you met somebody and you were playing co-op on Exodus, and you're like, oh, can't wait for Borderlands 3 to come out, and then now Borderlands 3's out. He's not on your friends list of Borderlands 3, and if he is on your friends list after you finally add him, you can't get in touch with him through the game.
Because there's no chat or anything. There's no messaging.
At least that's how I predict it's going to go. Without a friends list integration, your platform is already far. Even fucking Origins has a friends list and a chat integration.
So does Uplay.
It's not very good, but it's there.
It works.
I mean, as long as it's serviceable, it'll be good enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like I like Steam because I can be like, oh, Nate's online. That means he's at his computer. Pop in, send him a message. Hey, you want to play something? Boom, he gets my message.
No.
Yeah.
The answer is go fuck yourself.
Hell, Discord has a better way of finding your friends and launching games.
Yeah. The Epic Game Store.
Discord.
The Epic Game Store is, and I'm not saying this just to be a Steam fanboy because I know that there are problems with Steam. Steam does take quite a lot of money from developers when they publish their games on Steam. I get that. I understand.
They're changing that now, though.
That it's 100% a financial decision, and I get that, and I support that. But you are going to a launcher that doesn't even have a friends list.
For a massive co-op game. I mean, seriously.
It's one thing for Outer Worlds, and it's one thing for fucking Metro, because they're not multiplayer games. Borderlands 3 is co-op.
That's one of the big things, playing with friends.
So this is going to be a disaster.
And as much as I like Borderlands, I hope it is. I really hope it is.
I hope the game is good, but I hope that this PC launch just fucking sucks cock. Because I'm tired of putting up with this. And I honestly hope the Outer Worlds launch is terrible on PC too. I hope it is absolutely horrible.
I kind of want it to be, but I also don't want to see Obsidian go under.
I don't either. But it's gonna, I mean, it can still be good on console and be a good game, but have a terrible launch on PC. PC players are fighting back. Like, Metro, people were fighting back with Metro. Mm-hmm. And it didn't have a bad launch, but it didn't have a great launch.
Not as much as it could have.
And it's a solid launch. It's a solid game. It got good praise. But there were a lot of people that were mad about the Epic Games Store exclusivity. So, I don't know. Like, I want Outer Worlds to be good. And I think it will be. And I feel so bad for Obsidian because they did not choose to be Epic Games exclusive. Did you see that, Nate? So yeah, the Outer Worlds, which is the game made by the developers that made Fallout New Vegas, is Epic Games exclusive for a year.
And the worst part is the devs were working on Steam integrations. They were literally working on Steam achievements when they found out the same way we did. Oh yeah, it's exclusive. So they're sitting there, working on the game.
Yeah, they're knee deep in Steam achievements and Steam integration and all that other shit, and they're like, oh.
And then basically somebody comes down and is like, oh yeah, all that work you did, you don't have to do it.
Yeah, you got like a year, an extra year to do that. I would be so mad. And I feel so bad for them because they're getting so much flack over their publisher's decision.
I will say this. Randy Pitchford, the director of Gearbox, said, it's like, yeah, we understand the exclusivity, but like take it up with Take-Two and 2K because they did it, not us, and then just kind of dropped it.
Well, I told you they did a panel.
Not that he's any
where they showed a pretty fresh build of the game, and the game actually looks really fucking good. Like, graphic-wise, it looks fantastic. And then, like, structure-wise, it looks really interesting. The inventory menu is really cool. The build they were playing didn't have audio, but the build when they were playing it was 4 days old. So they made it crystal clear that it's still a very early alpha build. But they did a Q&A after that, and before they started the Q&A, the one dude's like, look, we're just going to go ahead and get this out on the table. We know you guys are going to be asking about Epic Store exclusivity. He's like, that really, we're really excited to be working with Take-Two Interactive. Take-Two came to us and did the exclusivity deal with Epic Games, and we're excited to see where this project takes us, and blah, 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 blah. But he sounded really, really not happy when he was saying it.
It's like, basically, it's like, I hate it, but I can't say that, so take it up with Take-Two. Blame them, not me.
So, I don't know. It worries me, though, what other games that I'm going to want to play when they launch that are going to be Epic Games exclusives. Because I'm tired of that. But yeah, it makes me, I don't know if we were talking about it on the podcast or not, but I think Nate's probably right. I think Steam is probably in the process right now of rewriting their publishing agreements where, like, if you advertise Steam as a platform, it's going to be on Steam at launch.
Minimum. Or, like, give your customers more than 2 weeks notice.
Yeah.
That you are moving platforms.
Because that makes Steam look bad, too.
Yep.
Which, again, they have their problems, but you can't go and do that. You just can't. That's not right. What else do we have in the gaming world? Oh, Assassin's Creed 3 Remaster launched. Yep.
Has anybody played it?
Nate's the only one that has it, and he didn't even buy it.
What?
So I'm pretty sure if you own the season pass to Assassin's Creed Odyssey, you are given a copy of Assassin's Creed 3 Remaster, which includes Assassin's Creed 3, a condensed version of Assassin's Creed Liberation, and all the DLCs to Assassin's Creed 3 with updated 4K textures and volumetric fog and some other stuff, new gameplay mechanics.
That's pretty nifty.
Yeah.
I want to play it, but I don't want to buy it because it's $40.
Oh.
I would be more inclined to buy it at a $30 price point. I feel like that's more appropriate for a game that's 8 years old and just got remastered. I feel like $40 for an X number year old game that got remastered is a little too much. Nate seemed excited when he found out, though. Like, it's funny. We were sitting there playing. I'm like, so Assassin's Creed 3 Remastered came out. And he's like, oh, cool. And then we were playing for a minute. And he's like, oh, sweet. And I'm like, what? He's like, oh, I can't believe they remastered that. And I'm like, oh, did that
just now, right? It's just Nate sitting there, and it's like, oh, they remastered Assassin's Creed 3. And it's like, oh, neat. Click, 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 click. Ding! Oh, shit!
It's pretty much exactly how it went.
I forgot which one that was for a minute.
He had to go through all the games in his head.
Yeah, he was like, Assassin's Creed, well, I didn't play that one. I didn't play that one. That one was pretty good, but I didn't play it.
Is that the one with the pirate ships?
No, that was a 4.
It
was the Indian dude!
It's got one pirate ship in it.
Yeah. It was a really solid game. I really liked Assassin's Creed 3. The soundtrack was fantastic, and the story was just killer. Really, really, really appreciate it. I remember how we always used to have debates, too, on whether or not, like, Altair or Ezio would be able to beat Connor in, like, man-to-man combat, but I just don't think they could.
Or how about those compared to the Odyssey main characters?
Yeah.
Frontline combat's like, you can't win against those two.
I still think, though, that Connor Kenway is probably the fiercest assassin in the franchise. You are talking about a man who, from child ages, was trained to kill things bigger than him and meaner than him. Like, I feel like he's not somebody that I would want to fight with. Plus, I mean, he has access to better tools at this point. He's got the rope dart, you know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, would you really want to fight with any of them?
No, that's true.
I mean, it's all a bunch of pasty white dudes talking about this shit, you know, whatever. We'd easily get our faces kicked in.
Wasn't it Derek, though, that when we were having this argument, he was like, well, Altair had the fucking Apple of Eden. And I'm like, okay.
We can't go late game shit like that.
You can't just pull the Apple of Eden out of thin air. Like, that's not fair. Yeah, anybody who has the Apple of Eden is going to win. You give the Apple of Eden to a 9-year-old, he'd probably win the fight by accident.
Yeah, it's just like talking about anime fights. It's just like, well, what about Naruto versus Goku? And it's like, well, Goku can turn Super Saiyan God. It's like, well, if we're using late game stuff, Naruto can do all this other stupid shit. It's just like, come on, let's draw a line here.
Like your typical equipment set that you have access to at all times. That's what I base my... Altair had swords. Connor had a hatchet. Altair had the hidden blade. Connor had the hidden blade that could retract and be a dagger, so he can dual wield. And Connor has fucking pistols.
Yeah. But what if
be like that scene from Indiana Jones? He's running at him. He just pulls out his pistol and shoots him.
You just see
done deal.
You just see Altair. He's just like, I'm gonna get you. And Connor's like, oh. Bam.
Oh shit! I missed. Bam, bam, bam. Wait, no, that's Edward.
Yeah, that's Edward.
You get 4.
6. I think you can get up to 6, can't you? In Assassin's Creed 4.
No,
straight pirate.
4.
Oh, is it 4?
Yeah.
I think
Blackbeard had
Blackbeard
6.
has 6 pistols.
I always liked that in Assassin's Creed 4. That's one of my favorites too. It's a hard pick between 4 and 3, but
well, I think Black Flag is a great pirate game and a shitty Assassin's Creed game.
At the beginning it is. Towards the end it becomes a really good Assassin's Creed game. Like once Edward finally starts like maturing,
picking a side.
Yeah, like it's like watching Edward's character evolve in that game is really fun. But yeah, those combat scenes where once you'd upgraded your pistol holsters and you had 4, just watching you go bang, 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 and you just see 4 enemies drop dead. One introduction they made in Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed 3 really shook up the franchise. Like, it really changed how things worked. Like, you could use body shields. You could grab people and hold them up in front of a firing line and use them as a shield for getting shot.
No, it's funny. You can do that pistol thing in Fallout 76 too.
What?
Yeah. You just put them in your hotbar.
Oh, you just have a bunch of
Yeah, you just
flintlocks.
have a bunch of flintlock pistols, so you just keep bang, bang, bang. Full on pirate status.
Somebody needs to make a pirate build.
Remember Gandhi used to do that, I think.
No, but I can see that. Like, could you imagine though? It's like you get into PvP with somebody and you see him wielding a flintlock pistol, and he's like, "Oh, he's only gonna have one shot, and he's gonna have to reload." And it's like, "Bam! Oh, that hurt! Bam! What the crap!"
Bam! 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 Stop it! Stop! No!
No. They start with the dragon.
Yeah. And then they're kneeling on the ground about dead, where you can choose to execute them or let them live. And you get up there, and he's like, "How did you do that?" And it's just like you drop four flintlock or black powder pistols on the ground in front of him. It's like, that's how. And then you use one more to shoot him in the face.
No, as you're walking up, it's like you're reloading. Switch to another one, reload it. Switch to another one, reload it.
I'm just imagining somebody making like a short, realistic animation of that, where it's just this guy leaned over a backpack, pulling guns out and just shooting them and tossing them.
Funny story. My brother in one of the D&D campaigns we're doing is Star Wars campaign. He plays a character, and she's not very big, but in her backpack she has a fuck ton of weapons. She's got like 2 little pistols, a big high-powered pistol, another one of those, a blaster rifle, a fucking blaster carbine, a flamethrower, and a bunch of other shit.
She doesn't reload. When it comes time to,
when the magazine is depleted, it's just like, okay, heavy blaster, okay, flamethrower.
Sounds like a very big backpack.
It is a very big backpack.
And that's what I do in Fallout. Like, I'll be sitting there with my 10 mil submachine gun, and I'm like, bop, 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 bop. Oh, I'm out of ammo. Switch to my fucking lever action. Pow, click, pow, click, pow, click. Up, out of ammo. Pull out the black powder rifle. Bam! All right, out of ammo. Pull out the minigun.
Then you gotta go through the really long reload of all of that.
Pull out the minigun, shoot that a few times. Up, that clip's empty. Pull out the flamethrower, use that a little bit. Up, that one's empty. I just go around the wheel. Oh, there was something else I want to talk about. Oh, so a little bit of information came out. This is kind of changing gears a little bit. So obviously Avengers Endgame comes out next month, April 26th. Super stoked. That noise, for those of you that heard it, was Nate shaking his head so hard the couch shook.
Yeah, you mean this month? In like...
Oh, yeah, it is April.
24 days?
Yeah, so...
I'm excited.
I am so... So rumors are that it's a 3-hour runtime.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
I saw a post. I saw a Twitter post that was just like, just watch Adventures Endgame. It's just gonna be 3 hours of Thanos giving us agriculture tips.
Well, how long was Infinity War?
It was long.
It was pretty long.
I don't think it was 3 hours though, but it was pretty long.
It was
It was a good.
I don't have a problem with 3 hours though. Like, if it's as good as Infinity War for 3 hours,
I wouldn't.
I'm gonna have to take a potty break. That's the only downside.
No. Here's what's gonna happen. I'm literally going to drink no fluids before I go to the theater and watch that movie,
and then pee before you go in as well.
And yeah, and then
it's like, I don't really have to go, but I'm going to make myself go.
That's one of those things I really hoped like they would have an intermission at like the hour and 30-minute mark.
Yeah, just like a 15-minute intermission or some shit. Like an actual fucking play.
I mean, honestly though, when you think about it, I go 3 hours all the time without going to the restroom.
Yeah, I do too, but it's when you're just sitting there.
But you see, you're not gonna be thinking about it.
Hope not.
When you sit there, when you're just sitting there and not...
The movie's good enough to distract you from it.
Yeah, when you're just sitting there not thinking of anything, you're like, man, I'm probably going to have to use the restroom soon. And then you're like, shit, I have to use the restroom now. But if you're watching the movie, you're going to be like, wow, this is so good. And then the end credits are going to happen, and you're going to be like, holy shit, 3 hours have passed.
But I really want to watch it and enjoy my soda.
I mean, you can have a soda there. Like, that's what I'm saying. I'm not going to consume any fluids until the movie. So that way, drinking my bucket of Coke...
dehydrated and hungry.
Drinking my bucket of Coke isn't going to affect my bladder because it's going to be...
If you can drink it fast enough, you can reuse that as a portable toilet.
It's just like you're sitting up there in the back, and it's in a full theater, and it's super quiet. It's like this really tense part of the movie, and you just hear...
There's somebody pissing in a cup. Like, what the fuck?
People start turning around like, what the? Are you serious? Be like, what? Shut up! Turn around and watch the movie. I can't see. It's like, you just pissed in a cup. Yeah, I know. The movie's really good.
I forgot my shit bucket.
I could just imagine the whole theater turning around and being like, what is that noise? The hype is real for Endgame, though. Like, I'm...
Oh, no, there's too much.
You just, like...
It's just like... see the people in front of them start taking off.
No, like, you're tapping the shoulder of people in front of you, be like, hey, do you have... Yeah, I need another cup. Is yours empty?
Are you done with your stuff? You don't like cup popcorn. The popcorn bucket will work.
It's like, what do you need it for? Well, you know.
Reasons.
It reminds me of that one time we were at the movies in the restroom.
Yeah.
I still don't understand that. I don't know what was so funny.
We went to the restroom, and we had just gotten out of the movie, and so Nate and I went to the restroom before we left, and there was some dude in there, and, you know, we're both taking a leak, and it's quiet, and then Nate starts taking a leak, and it sounds like he opened a garden hose in the toilet.
Do you really have to go that bad?
Well, I was sitting there, I was like, I gotta go pee, and I was like, how are they not making any noise?
The trick is you aim for the wall of the urinal, not the water.
And Nate just goes, time to turn on the high pressure valve. Just trying to take the paint off the porcelain.
But, like, he was red in the face from holding his laughter in because he was afraid he'd look like a crazy person. He was just sitting there peeing and laughing. So the dude walked out and he started losing it. He's like, I don't know how you guys went so quiet.
That was great.
Because of just, you had to imagine if he did start laughing. Imagine what the dude next to him would have thought.
It's just been like, what? What's so funny?
The color of my pee.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I don't even know what you could say to that unless you were specifically talking about something yourself. You just look at him and you said, I'm sorry, while laughing. He was like, sorry about what, huh?
It's like, what's so funny?
You got
you're
something
like,
to say?
You're like, you're just peeing really quiet, and I'm really loud. And for some reason, I find that funny.
Got a bad case of noisy urination.
You just gotta be completely real with him, just 100% honest. That would make the situation even better.
You're a fucking weirdo.
The guy get home and be like, I had the weirdest encounter ever at the movies.
Oh my god. But yeah, Endgame is super, super exciting. I went and watched Captain Marvel last week, and that, like, my hype for Endgame went from too much to it needs to happen yesterday. Like, it needs to have come out yesterday. And, like, every time they release a trailer, I'm like, do I really want to watch the trailer? Like, if I watch the trailer, I'm only going to want to see it more. If I keep myself in mystery. And then I watched Ant-Man and the Wasp yesterday on Netflix. And now I really, really, really want Avengers Infinity War.
I still need to see both of those.
Ant-Man and the Wasp is on Netflix. You don't have Netflix. I don't know why I made that as if you did. Captain Marvel was fantastic. I don't know what everybody was grumpy about. I watched that movie and thought it was up to par with every other Marvel movie that I've seen. And one of my favorite things about it...
because her pants aren't tight enough.
No, he's upset because her pants aren't tight enough.
No, I just think it's funny that Tom Holland has a bigger ass than she does.
Anyways, one thing, and this is not a spoiler in any regards, and it really isn't related to the story of the movie at all, that I really, really liked, is, you know, at the beginning of the Marvel movies, they have that big comic reel where it goes through all the characters and some of the dialogue, and it shows all the characters from the movies and stuff, and then it says Marvel Studios. Well, in this one, for Captain Marvel, it was just all a bunch of pictures and clips of Stan Lee and his cameos in the films.
Aw.
And then at the end of it, it said Marvel Studios, and then it went back, and then it was a black screen with white font in the middle that said, "Thanks for everything, Stan." And I'm like, that right there is awesome.
That is awesome.
Such a small thing, but super cool. Like, made me sad that Stan Lee was dead again. Like, I was already sad, and I had just gotten to that point where I'm like, it's time to move on. And then I watched it, and I'm like, well, damn. And then his cameo was in the movie, and I'm like, double damn. And then I watched his cameo in Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I'm like, triple damn.
You guys got that picture I sent to you guys in the group chat, right?
Oh, yeah, about Spider-Man?
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, you're not
Well-
in the group chat.
It's the episode of SpongeBob where Squidward gives SpongeBob a bomb pie,
Yeah.
and they just find out they're bombs. And Mr. Krabs is just like, he's talking about Spider-Man. Mr. Krabs is Sony, and Squidward is Marvel.
I let you make the boy. I let you
You-
make the boy an Avenger, and you kill him.
and you kill him. He cries you a sweater, and you kill him.
And I want to, like, I feel bad for DC Interactive because, like, their movies get such a bad rap, but I think it's because when you compare them to Marvel, there's no comparison. You
I mean,
just
they
can't
keep-
compare them.
They keep trying in a way, but they keep trying too hard, and they keep trying to be too similar, but also trying to be like, but not really.
Well, here is the thing.
I
For
mean,
the
if they would
longest
do
time,
if they would concentrate on doing their own thing at a reasonable pace,
the
of trying
only
to play
films
catch-up.
they made that were of substance were the
Batman,
Batman and Superman movies.
mostly Batman.
Mostly Batman. And then out of nowhere, now granted, the Man of Steel was a good movie. I did enjoy Man of Steel. I didn't see the second one, Batman versus Superman or whatever.
I saw it. It was
I heard it was decent, but
okay.
that was okay. They introduced, Clark Kent and Superman in his own movie, and they started kind of winding everything together. And then Justice League,
And then
like,
they were just
out of
like,
nowhere.
here's the Flash, Aquaman, and some other people, and Wonder Woman, and all this stuff. And then Wonder Woman got her own movie, and everybody's like, cool. And then it's like Justice League with the Flash, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and all these other people who haven't had a movie yet, who you have no idea who they are. We're going to introduce you to 17 other characters, and then we're just going to go. All right, have fun with it.
Yeah, that
Just like,
was so
calm-
jarring.
Yeah.
just like,
Well, I
calm
felt like
down.
in Batman v Superman, it's like Wonder Woman just kind of
Shows up.
appears out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I heard it was pretty much the same with like the Flash and Aquaman too, because apparently Batman is a visionary who can dream the future now.
Now, The Flash had his TV show, and I think that's what they were banking on as his introduction, but that's not enough.
Yeah, you need
Like,
a little bit more
Look at
into the
look
cinematic
at
universe.
Marvel's
There's-
masterpiece.
Yeah,
It is so carefully crafted.
It had a lot of setup.
It
It
did.
had a lot
Like,
of setup.
every bit of things that you see,
Like, you can't do half the setup and expect the same result.
I mean, they said they officially started the renovation of the Marvel Cinematic Universe with Iron Man, the original Iron Man in 2007, 8, whatever that was.
And I'm even sure they didn't even really plan to make it like a whole cinematic experience, but they realized that they had the potential to do it.
And so it built, and then you had Iron Man and Iron Man 2 and Iron Man 3, and then you had Captain America. You had Captain America 2, you had Captain America 3, then you had Thor 2 and 3. And you just, the movies, each one connected to the others somehow. Whether that was like the Tesseract, or the fucking Infinity Stones, or Thanos, or whatever. They all interwove with each other so that when the Avengers movie happened, not only did you know all those characters, not only did you know what was happening, not to say that you can't watch the Avengers movie without seeing any of the other ones, but if you saw the other ones leading up to the Avengers,
Yeah, you would know, you would be aware of all the characters. All the characters would have been introduced to you already, and all the plot devices would have been introduced to you already.
Like,
and all
here-
this other stuff.
perfect example. Spoiler alert for those of you who haven't seen Infinity War. If you haven't seen Infinity War, what the fuck is your problem?
You know,
Go
it's like,
watch
what's
it.
wrong with you? Go watch it.
But
I'd
when
recommend watching Ragnarok first, else the beginning of the movie might not make a lot of sense.
yeah,
But yeah,
whenever Thanos is going to get the Soul Stone,
you know exactly. Wait,
the Red Skull,
yeah, the Red Skull is there.
at first it didn't dawn on me, but then he pulled his hood back and I'm like, whoa!
And he's just like, and now I'm cursed to live here in a place to give somebody a treasure I cannot possess. Which is just saying that, you know, he doesn't love anybody. You know, my brother had a theory about Red Skull, too, on that. He's like, now that Thanos has the entire Infinity Gauntlet, Red Skull doesn't have to possess the Soul Stone anymore. He doesn't have to get it like that anymore. He can just take it. So he might appear in the second movie as a
Who?
external villain. Red Skull.
Oh, right. I don't know why I zoned out there for a second.
I thought he kind of faded away after Thanos got the Soul Stone.
No. he
No.
just
Oh
didn't
wait,
show
yeah,
up
it
again.
never showed him again.
Yeah, Thanos just woke up in a pool somewhere else.
Yeah.
And Red Skull wasn't there anymore.
I couldn't believe to see him again. I'm like, what? What?
I mean, that makes sense. He disappeared on that plane.
And you know, it's crazy, though, and I don't want to say too much because Nick hasn't seen Ant-Man and the Wasp, but
I haven't seen it either.
fuck. Well,
So in other words, shut up.
it's just,
shut your whole mouth.
it's interesting strictly because, first off, go watch it. Find a way, watch it. But Ant-Man, I think, is going to be the key, and Captain Marvel, obviously, because her movie just came out, and it's pretty significant. But, like, Ant-Man is going to hold some answers, I think, to the solution to the Thanos problem. Because, well, he didn't get turned to dust, clearly, because he's in the trailers for...
Yeah, and obviously he's just gonna become Micro and then go up inside Thanos' ass and expand.
No.
And explode. Him.
No.
There you go. End of movie.
Also, I saw Marvel posted a bunch of pictures on their social media page of like the Avengers, and they had the Avengers that were still alive, and they were in color. And then the Avengers that were turned to dust were in black and white. Here's what interested me. What I think her name was Valkyrie from Thor Ragnarok.
Mm-hmm.
She was one of the posters in color.
Neat.
Because I was kind of
Wonder, yeah.
mad. They introduced her in Ragnarok and then just
wasn't there.
poof. I'm like, where'd she go? But yeah, her face, I'm pretty sure it was in color, but her face was on a poster, and I'm like, interesting. Very interesting.
Very interesting. Well, she's not part of the Avengers. She's part of the Revengers. The Revengers.
Right. That's one of my favorite things. Thor is hysterical.
What are we
I'm
gonna
putting
call
together my own team. It's called the
the Revengers.
And I tell you what, Captain Marvel is going to be a fantastic addition to the Avengers. Like, her attitude, she had a lot of sass in the movie. Like, she was a very smart-assy character who I really enjoyed watching her character. Like, it was fantastic. She was really well written. I'm really excited to see how she, riffs off the rest of the Avengers. That movie just opens its doors for such good comedy. Like in Infinity War, when Bruce Banner lands next to Doctor Strange and all that, and they're talking about the Avengers ice creams. I love.
I like a lot of stuff in the Infinity War, especially like the humor. It was really well placed.
Yeah.
In a lot of situations.
Fucking.
It's like Peter Parker is just like, what the hell is going on here? And it's like, well, he's from space and he came here to steal a necklace from a wizard.
when they were on the spaceship, and he's like, "Hi, I don't think we've met. I'm Peter Parker. I'm Doctor Strange.
Oh,
Oh,
we're using made-up names. Okay,
I'm Spider-Man."
He doesn't say anything. He just like looks at him for a minute and then turns around. Or like, when they're on Titan, talking about trying to get a plan together, and Quill's just like, yeah, they don't really do plans, and he goes, what is it you do actually? And Mantis goes, kick names
and take ass.
And Drax just turns around and goes, that's right.
Drax is a hidden gem, dude.
He is my favorite character in the Guardians of the Galaxy. He's my favorite character. Hands down my favorite character. I have learned the art of invisibility. I have moved so slowly that my movements have become invisible.
He's just sitting there.
How long have you been standing there? About an hour.
Speaking of Avengers, though, news has come out that the Russo brothers, who are the writers/directors for that movie, intentionally filmed spoof scenes to include in the trailer to throw viewers and fans off. So, take your trailers with a grain of salt, 'cause they did say that they specifically filmed scenes for the trailer, which is evil but fantastic at the same time.
It's clever. Keeps the secret in.
I mean, yeah. Because, well, and you know how much fucking Marvel fans pick those those trailers apart like
Yeah, you'll have
vultures.
100 guys that'll sit there and go over it frame by frame by frame, looking for every little detail. It's like, just wait for the fucking movie, damn it.
They're like, look, like somebody's theorizing that Tony Stark is going to lose his left arm in this movie or whatever, because in every Marvel movie, Tony Stark has injured his left arm in some way. I'm like, while that does seem coincidental.
You see, in this frame, in about 3 seconds into this specific scene in the trailer, in this one frame, you can see Captain America's index finger is angled at a 30-degree angle, pointed towards Black Widow, which means that she's going to infiltrate into something and do some like hack stuff, and that's how they're gonna get into Thanos' lair, so that they can defeat him and take the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah.
It's just like, really?
But, like, he went back and showed it, and, like, it was mildly convincing, but, like, apparently Marvel has gone out of their way in every film that he is in to show Tony Stark when his left arm was injured, or his right arm, one of his arms. Like,
I think it was left.
But I'm like, do you really think, like, they think he's going to wield the Infinity Gauntlet because it's his left arm. They think he's going to be the one to wield the Infinity Gauntlet and reverse everything that happened in Endgame. Pure speculation. We obviously don't know that it's going to get reversed, but we do know because there's a Spider-Man movie that's coming out literally 2 months after.
Yeah, I mean...
And in the comics, it got reversed.
It's a comic book movie, you know.
In the comics, it got reversed, and they literally said that Spider-Man Far From Home takes place right after Endgame. So, if Spider-Man is alive, they've clearly unpowdered everybody, you know, and considering...
Unpowdered. Just add water. Dehydrated Spider-Man.
Here,
A little MRE packet.
Condensed Black Panther. It's just dust. Just add water and stir.
We call this the special Black Panther activated charcoal dust.
But yeah, I
brushing
mean,
your teeth, but I wouldn't suggest it.
You got to know they're coming back because Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is already confirmed, which, by the way, we might be getting Mark Hamill in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Interesting.
Which would be fucking awesome.
Is he gonna play some derelict space wizard with a laser sword.
Hopefully. Be like, you look like a Luke. No, I'm not a Luke. No, you really look like a Luke. Like there's this movie back on Earth called Star Wars.
And he's like, no, that's my cousin.
No, it'd be like, well, where are you from? A galaxy far, far away. Calling it.
Dude, they got to do that. Although they didn't do the Sherlock joke in Avengers, which I was really disappointed about. There needed to be there had to have been a no shit Sherlock because Robert Downey Jr. plays Sherlock Holmes.
Yeah.
And Benedict Cumberbatch plays Sherlock Holmes.
I thought they did.
No, we wanted them to. There were so many I could just see those two riffing off, trying to do all this sciencey shit, and then one of them says something, and the other's like, "Yeah, no shit, Sherlock," and then just kind of look at each other and like, But if we don't get Mark Hamill, if Mark Hamill is in that movie and we don't get some joke about Star Wars, and here's why I think it's possible. Peter Quill literally lives 80s style. He lives on the late 70s into the 80s.
If he hasn't seen Star Wars by that point, he's not living.
And I mean, he would know Star Wars.
Yeah.
And then he would see Mark Hamill and go, "Anybody ever tell you look like Luke Skywalker?"
It's like, no, my name's Larry Air Runner.
Who's Luke Skywalker? Oh, he's a famous character out of these movies back on Earth. Where's Earth? It's a galaxy far, far away. You'd probably never heard of it.
It's just something like that. It'd be pretty funny.
But I mean, yeah. So any of you that were upset about the snap getting rid of all your favorite Marvel characters, obviously Spider-Man's got a movie coming in 3 months. They just introduced Doctor Strange 2 years ago. So
and Black Panther.
And Black Panther came out last year.
Yeah.
And so they're not just going to get rid of all these. Black Panther was one of the highest grossing films of all time. They're not going to be like, well, let's kill him off.
Well, he's dead now. I mean, so unceremoniously too. I mean, he was barely in Infinity War.
Yeah, he was barely in there, and then he just runs across. He's like, "Come on, let's go."
Yeah, his scenes are he looks like a king. He looks kingly for a little while,
and then he's Black Panther.
He chats. He's Black Panther. He runs across a field,
and now he's powdered milk.
Turns into dust.
Now he's dehydrated Black Panther.
Yeah, but I know it's a little early, but I think we're gonna wrap up. Figure out what we're eating. I wanted to stream last night, but I spent literally 10 hours yesterday cleaning, so...
You said 8.
Whatever. I lose track of time.
Liar.
It felt like cleaning because then I stopped and did homework, and then I started cleaning again. Yesterday was just a boring-ass day. Anyways.
Homework.
We will probably be live tonight.
Errands.
It may be a short stream. It may not be. It just depends on whether or not we want to play the Sea of Thieves Insider build. That is definitely the Sea of Thieves Insider build. It just depends on whether or not we're playing that tonight. So, because I can't stream that.
Definitely not the El Dorito thing, though.
No,
we're definitely not going to play that.
You can't play that.
That's wrong.
That's against the rules. But yes, we will probably be live. And we will see what we're playing then. So thanks everybody for hanging out with us, and we will see you later.